Lads, it has been a hot minute since I uploaded on YouTube, but I'm gonna jump straight into this. I've seen a lot of videos on my timeline on what's the best Monster Hunter, what's the best monster in Monster Hunter, what's the best weapon, etc., etc. And with obviously the hype of Monster Hunter Wilds coming out next Friday, I wanted to put my own take on this and just really upload a video and just sort of get back into the fray of things. Obviously, what is the most iconic monster in the Monster Hunter franchise? Bit of background about me, if you don't know, I started playing when Freedom Unite come out, so a second fleeter. Played a lot of that on PSP. I played a little bit of Monster Hunter 1, but only a little bit on my friend's PSP, but I didn't actually own one back then. Monster Hunter Try, I didn't play too much. Ultimates didn't play too much either, but I have a good understanding of the monsters. But a lot of world time was put in, a lot of Rise, a lot of Sunbreak. So I'm very familiar with obviously the Monster Hunter franchise in general, and I know every single monster anyway. But yeah, without further ado, the most iconic monster I think we can really agree on when I give it right at the end. But if you don't think my opinion is correct, obviously just give your own opinion in the comments below, and also have a little guess before right at the end anyway, and see if you can guess what I'm guessing. I think you probably won't guess what I'm guessing because I think most people are going to go for the standard, hint hint, the thumbnail monster. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it. I don't think any Monster Hunter list would be complete without this monster, and that is the best boy. And to be fair, he is grown on me. I didn't actually like him to begin with, but that's Sanoga. Me and my friends used to call him Zinger just because he used to zap you. Very cringy, but yeah. Um, it came out in portable third, so Gen 3. He's then pretty much been a staple through all the other generations, and for a good reason. Really, really good moveset. Very telegraphed though, to be fair. Weak to ice, the best doggo. Most Monster Hunter veterans like him. He's not too difficult, but also he does have that first spike in difficulty when you do first fight him. But after that, I think he's pretty tame puppy, and most people do like him. Obviously, the addition of the Apex versions and the frenzied versions from Portable Third and going into um, into Rise, he was pretty difficult. Damn, increased speed, and of course, Stygian Zanoga is very iconic. And when you first fight him, before that, I just think his general base form is the most iconic version, just because everyone knows him. And yeah, he is known as the best boy. To be honest, not much more about that. He is probably my favourite fanged wyvern of the lot. He looks really, really cool. And when you see Zinger, you're like, yes, cool, we're in for a good fight here. And to be honest with you, there isn't much more to it. He's just really good monster. Looks great. His enrage is absolutely immense, to be fair. And yeah, that's Stygian Zanoga. I think might be top three best color designs in the whole of Monster Hunter, in my opinion. I think there's a couple of other ones like Apex Mitsuzune, which I think is my favorite looking monster in the whole genre. But yeah, Stygian Zanoga definitely looks the best, and just yeah, Zanoga, really, really good starting monster to begin with. Coming in at number 9, another best boy. Everyone loves him. Probably has the one of the best armor sets and weapons, layered weapons within the franchise, in my opinion, and that is the flagship of Gen 4, Gore Magala. There isn't much information on his wiki apart from he's known as the Black Eclipse and the Stalking Shadow. He is a wyvern on the wiki, but I'm not actually too sure what type of wyvern. Another really cool interaction with it as well is that he's the only monster within the franchise which has his elder variant as an actual variant. So when he grows older, he turns into Shigara Magala, a stronger variant, slightly decayed color as well. Really cool interaction. We hope we get that again for another monster as well. But yeah, number 9, Gormagala, probably one of my favorite monsters within the franchise, and for a good reason too. And that's why it's been brought back again. Definitely a fan favorite. There isn't many people who I spoke to who dislike Gormagala, and especially his risen version in Rise and Sunbreak. That is absolutely insane. Hopefully they do him justice again in Wilds. Moving on to number 8, and all I've got to say is whoosh. Valstrax, mate, when you hear that noise, you just know you're in for a bad time. When I first fought Valstrax in Generations Ultimate, I was like, what the hell is happening? I actually managed to do no spoilers for the update, and I was like, what the hell is happening? And of course, I died straight away, and I was so happy to see it return, actually, to my distress within Rise, and obviously, of course, this Crimson Glow version in Sunbreak was absolutely immense as too. Probably one of the highlights of the game, one of the hardest monsters, may I add, as well, to learn patterns for. And to be fair, one of the biggest walls I had within Sunbreak was the Crimson Glow, and especially its Risen version as well. Um, Probably one of my favorite looking monsters. I would say he's a little bit futuristic for me, but the color scheme is really, really there, really lit up. I love the sound effects of it. And yeah, to be fair, soloing him was an actual mission. It took me quite a long time to get his moves down. And to be fair, to this day, if I went to him straight away right now, I probably would die. Maybe his normal variant, I probably wouldn't cart, but definitely 100 million percent I would cart to his risen form. So I actually hope he does make a return in Wilds. I think it does match the theme pretty well. And wouldn't it be so cool seeing Valstrax come through in HD and not just obviously in the Switch variant? So fingers crossed. Coming in at number seven, again, another best pickle this time. That is Devil Joe. He was released in Gen 3. I didn't fight him too much on the Wii 'cause I didn't actually own one, but I did fight him quite a bit on the portable on third. And of course, my most remembrance of him was in Monster Hunter World and Iceborne with his Savage version. All my days, his Savage version in Monster Hunter Iceborne actually killed me. Massive brick wall. I couldn't do it for quite a long time. I like to solo things first before I do multiplayer hunts, and trust me, I was stuck on him for a good couple of days. Again, really looks cool. I love his Dragon Blight effect. He is a pain in the butt, but when you knock him over, he's probably one of the most satisfying monsters to hit. He has a really, really cool hit zone on the head, and it is so meaty when you hit him on the head when you knock him down. And Jesus Christ, when you hammer him and bonk him on the floor, yes, absolutely 10 out of 10 monster. He's also obviously resembling a T Rex, which, come on, you can't actually beat that. One of the best monster designs. I was very surprised they didn't actually make a monster similar to that previously. There was Anjanath. I don't think there was anything else similar, but yeah, Devil Joe was basically a juiced up version of Anjanath, in my opinion, and obviously much better looking as well. So yeah, got to give credits for Devil Joe. And to be honest with you, even though it was in World and Iceborne and also in Now, I would love to see Devil Joe make a return in this. I love seeing him in HD, and yeah, I really do hope that he's in Worlds because again, matches the theme very, very well. And yeah, please, Capcom, give me my pickle boy. Moving on to number six, and that is Super Saiyan Monkey Rejang or Rejang, as I like to call it. My first brick ball in Freedom, the HR5 mission I needed to clear to get the HR6 urgent. I still remember to this day, all my days, I could not do it. I had to go into school, get one of my friends to help me do it, and we all struggled with him. And there was this one guy, shout out Daryl, he was the only person in the school who could solo him at the time. He helped me through it, and Jesus Christ, so iconic. He was done very, very well in World, but done very, very poorly, in my opinion, in Rise. He was such a pushover in Rise. I was like, oh my days, is this the same monster? Like, didn't really hit hard at all in comparison to World. And to be honest with you, I don't know if that sort of hindered my opinion, but I actually don't want him in Worlds. He would match the theme so well within the world just because, Wild Monkey and all that business. And to be fair, I reckon he is going to be in the game. I wouldn't hate it, but I just feel like I've fought Rajang so much, it's kind of, I don't know, the fight's kind of boring to me now. I actually went back and fought Rajang again on World just to sort of get a glimpse to see how it felt like, and it was still a challenge. Um, so I don't know. I'm a bit conflicted on Rajan. He's a very, very good monster design. Again, Golden Monkey, really, really good gear, looks cool as hell. And to be fair, in a similar bracket to Devil Joe, let's see what happens. Let's see if he's in Wilds. Coming at the halfway point, number five, and that is Raging Brachydios, released in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. I didn't actually fight him too much in this generation, again, as I mentioned before, but you know why I'm speaking about Raging Brachydios. I was actually going to put him lower just because I've only put him on a list for one fight, but I think everyone can agree, everyone who has fought Raging Brachydios in that final damn zone alone gives it number five spot. Really, really good moveset in general. A very difficult monster to take down, and the music is probably a 10 out of 10 for me. And yeah, that last zone, like you're normally on your last life, your last cart. Everything about that fight, it just screams nostalgia, even though it's only been out for what, 4 years, 5 years? I don't even know how long World, well, Iceborne's been out, but I just feel like it is very, very iconic. I hope they don't bring him to Worlds only because I feel like he has his own place in World, Iceborne, and I don't want him to be hindered by another Monster Hunter right now. So hopefully he stays in Worlds. One of my favourite monsters, really, really cool looking gear, and one of the best gears within Iceborne as well. So yep, that's Raging Brachydios. Number four, we're getting into the nitty gritty now, and to be honest with you, Tiger X. Do I have to say any more? He is not the most flashiest monster, but he is damn iconic. He was the urgent quest for HR3 and also the urgent quest for a dual hunt for Double Tiger X for HR6 for Freedom Unite. I actually remember him so well. I farmed his armor for my first set of high rank armor. It gives you auto tracker for the monster, and back in the day, knowing where the monster was because you had to paintball it was so good. So I always run Tiger X until I got the high ranks like Raging Armor back in the day. So very iconic there. They even then released him with his Molten variant, his Brute Tiger X variant. Again, really really good variants of Tiger X. Or sorry, not Tiger X, Tigre X. By the way, it is actually Tigre X. I was corrected by someone the other day. Again, his brute form in Iceborne. Oh my days, it is absolutely great, mate. I love it. I love the look of it. It's the metallic shimmer, but Tigrex on its own, I reckon he will make a return in Wilds. Again, he matches the theme so well, sort of predatorial monster. I feel like he will be in this game, very similar to like Rathian, and them sort of monsters. I actually do hope he is in this game again. I actually really like fighting Tiger X. He never bores me, even though he is considered probably one of the more boring monsters. But yep, that's Tiger X. Top three time, and what way better to put number three with the flagship of number three Monster Hunter, and that is Legai Cruz. Mate, I can never pronounce this guy's name. And this is how you know a monster's iconic. The fact that he's only been out in one generation and everyone screams to have him back, that's how you just know he is one of the best monsters in the franchise. And yes, damn iconic. The only monster to have underwater combat. I really do want him to come back as everyone else does in Wilds. He probably would be a great addition. And the fact that they've got that new Dan Haram, I forgot that ice apex predator monster, very similar skeleton to the guy Chris. Oh, for God's sake, can't even speak properly. I feel like they can do him, but I feel like the problem is the underwater combat. I don't know how they're going to implement it, and I feel like they've concentrated a lot more on their resource on other things. So let's see what happens. Maybe in the DLC they bring him in. Maybe there is a surprise up, but I don't think Capcom would have kept that a surprise. So, look, really really cool looking monster, really cool gear underwater. Love that. I just really, really hope that they do find a way to bring him into Wild, and if not, please, for God's sake, bring him in the expansion pack. That's the guy, Chris. Can't speak his name properly. Jesus damn Christ. Coming in at the runner-up spot, and this monster actually again very similar to Tigrex, like touched my soul in so many different ways. I have such fond memories of Freedom Unite. Not just his normal variant, but his white and his crimson variant as well. And that is Fatalis or Fatalis, however you want to pronounce it. I'm pretty sure it's Fatalis. Oh no, sorry, Fatalis? Mate, I don't know how to pronounce these names properly, but I call him Fatalis. And all I remember is Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. He would go on all fours, he would wiggle, and his tail, with max gear, by the way, max gear, would always one hit you. I don't know what it is, if they're messed up with the hitboxes or overtuned the hit of that particular move, but go back and look at the one hit on Fatalis on Freedom Unite, you will understand my pain. Jesus, it is an absolute nightmare. I actually managed to kill Fatalis one time on my own, and it was my most replayed mission ever on that game because I wanted it on my own. I cleared White Fatalis on my own once as well, and also a few times with my friends. And Crimson Fatalis I only cleared with my friends. So I really hope one of the variants come to Wilds. My favorite is the white one only because it looks so cool. But honestly, I'm happy to have Crimson. Obviously, the black one was done already in World, but yeah, I really hope they bring in one of the variants of Fatalis. One of my favorite monsters in the game for sure. Honorable mention time. No, this isn't 1.5 or 2.5 placing. It is just honorable mention. I didn't know where to put him because he's only been around a short time. He is still extremely iconic, by the way, but I just feel like all the others had a spot above him. But regardless, I feel like a lot of you guys will agree with me. Beetlejuice, AC 130, very iconic, and not just that, just when a newer player speaks about Monster Hunter, they normally speak about Beetlejuice, and you know the whole situation with him bombing you when you first fight him. So, and I also remember the HR I don't actually know the number, but the urgent quest with two of them. Is it urgent quest? The two Basil Geese mission. I remember soloing that for the first time, and it gave me obviously nostalgia feels when I first cleared the dual Tigrex. So yeah, that's honorable mention of Basil Geese. And taking the top spot. Let's see if you guessed it. I reckon just because he is so known, you wouldn't have guessed it, and that is Rathalos. Not Rathian, because everyone forgets about Rathian, but Rathalos. He has been around since Gen 1, the most iconic staple poster boy of Gen 1, by the way. He has been in the game ever since. He has many subspecies, many variants. He's even got a new variant coming to Wilds. Really good gear, looks cool as hell. You can farm him at the beginning of each game to get attack plus up for pretty much every single game, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, he's just so iconic. Everyone would have fought him a numerous amounts of time if they've played or finished a Monster Hunter game. If you're new to it, you like him. If you're old to generation, you know just he is the most iconic monster. I'm sorry, but we can agree to disagree. If you think there is another monster which is more iconic than Rathalos, let me know. But guys, if you enjoyed that, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.